Hello YouTube, and welcome to my model railroad. This is the first video I've ever done with my voice involved. Don't exactly have a radio type of voice, but I did have a request to have a look at what I'm doing. I realize if you've been looking at some of my videos, they're pretty much 30-second clips of locomotives running across the railroad. Just so everybody understands, those were really for my own use to catalog locomotives. I had put DCC in, and most of them have sound. So I apologize if I've bored everybody over time with those little videos, but they were pretty much for my purpose. But I thought I'd take a moment and show you my layout. What you're looking at is an 11-foot by 5-foot 4-module model railroad. Now they're modules, but they're not modules like you think of Fremo or N-Track or something like that. I basically built this starting in 2009 with just the center module because that's all the room I had down in the basement at that point. As the kids have grown and gone, I've reclaimed some more of the basement, and I've been able to add on these modules. The idea of building this as a modular, maybe that's a better term, is that I don't expect to be in this house for the next 20 years. Somewhere along the line, my wife and I will move and retire and scale down, and I would like to be able to take this with me. And it certainly makes it easier if I have it in a modular format. And even if I don't like what I've built and I want to scrap it all, well, it just makes it that much easier. So let's take a look at what I've built so far. This front module that you're looking at right here is 7 feet by 2 feet. Started building it in 2009, and it's run with an NCE Power Pro. And you can see two panels, and they're run by a single NC mini panel module. The right module here is my town, what I call my town module, and then over to the left, without panning too fast, that's what I'm going to call my mountain module. Obviously that has got a long way to go from a scenery standpoint. Still trying to figure out what I want to do, how I want to put that house into the scene or not put it in, and go from there. In the back, is what I call the back module, and that's simply a 7-foot by a 12-inch piece that connects the two running mainline tracks and has two what I'll call staging tracks. As you can see. You can see a passing siding there. That was not originally what I built. I've been working towards my NMRA AP certificates, and one of the certificates requires a passing siding on your layout. This is the only place I could put one, so I ripped up pieces of track and reinstalled 2 turnouts here to make the passing siding. In the dead center is a double crossover, and that allows the trains or locomotives to utilize both main lines as one, or I can run 2 trains simultaneously. The last piece of it here is you can see this little engine house, and I'm going to reach in and lift it up. I did not glue it down or make it solid, because what I eventually want to do is take this out and put another module right here for some more switching. So the basic concept of the layout is you have a local switcher, as you can see right here, that lives in the terminal area, stays there, and does all the switching for the industries. And then you have road switchers, as you can see here, that will come in and deposit cars on the interchange track, which is the first track in. Then the local switcher can move cars to the industries, bring cars out of the industries, set them back on the interchange track, or they can be moved to the second track in, which is what I'm calling a yard track for storage until they're needed elsewhere, or they get put out to the interchange track for removal. I found this track plan online many years ago and have modified it and played around with it, and this is what I finally built. The other piece I want you to note is that you can see the elevation here. There's a 2-inch elevation between the lower tracks and the upper tracks. I did that because I wanted to work with some elevation, not have just a flat model railroad. So what you see here is the upper elevation, and you can pretty much see it right here, goes down to 1 inch. The lower elevation comes up to 1 inch. This allows for only a 2% incline. And then the back module sits at a 1 inch elevation. And then the far module in the back does the same thing in the invert. It goes up to 2 inches or down to 0. And allows the trains to go up and down and keep kind of an interest to it without having to have a lot of space to raise, to go up and down. And then, of course, I always like to have some kind of bridge feature, and I realize this is an awfully big bridge for this kind of a little area. But it was just fun to build and fun to put in there with the 2 little stream beds. You can see my little JMRI computer sitting here. I'll fold that down. There we go. And that gives you a little better look at the scenery there. So that's basically what I've done, and it allows me, when I'm take the time, I can do switching in the center while one train either runs on the outside, or I can run 2 trains on the outside. Using that double crossover allows me to isolate and have 2 trains run independently, or I can flip the double crossover and let 1 train run completely around both circuits for a longer run. That's pretty much it at this point. Thank you for taking a look. Oh yes, I did want to show you one other thing. So this is kind of a little work area here, mostly storage, little desk that I salvaged from the trash many years ago. And then over here is my shelf with all my scenery items. And then this is my rolling stock storage. So what you have here is document boxes that you can get from Staples, and I have rolling stock stored right here. So to give you an idea what that is, let's take a look here. So this is a standard document box you can buy from Staples. Bubble wrap, and what I do is I fold it over so it's a double layer. I use spray adhesive, and the bubble wrap is stuck to the top, and then it's stuck to the bottom, and then I can lay 8 pieces of rolling stock in here, and then on the front each piece is labeled so that I can find it very quickly when it's time for that piece of rolling stock to come out onto the layout. And then it makes everything nice and compact for storage. That's really all I have. Thank you for watching, and appreciate your time.